If you are a videographer looking for a motorized slider, stay tuned because today that's the subject of our video. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to review a couple of items by the brand Zeapon. We have the Micro3 E700 motorized slider and also the Micro3 slider motor. This is the fast version of the motors. They have two, a slower version and the faster. We're gonna check them out later on. I'm gonna start by saying that if you want to use the slider properly with the complete features, then it's definitely recommended to have also the motor. What we have here is the E700, which measures 70 centimeters, exactly 77. We also have two other versions, the 50 centimeters and the 100 centimeters. And as you can see by the name, this is the E700. We have a version called E700. The difference is the M doesn't come with the motor. In my case, it does because the company sent me the motor, but if you want to buy a full package with both of the items together, that's the E version. And of course, the three sizes comes into different versions. To cover the price quickly, the E700 with the motor and the slider comes on Amazon at £659. By the way, I dropped the links in the description tab so you can click on it and purchase the slider straight away. In terms of payload, so the weight that the slider can hold, we vary from 4 to 12 kilos. As you can see here, I've got an extra fluid head and the Sony a7R III with the 16 to 35 G master lens on top. We go straight into some of the features of the slider. We have vacuum adjustable damping. It's basically a system at one of the ends of the slider which makes it very smooth, and also it regulates the friction of the slider on the rails. We have 5 different levels of friction from 1 to 5. The higher the number, the higher the resistance. On the same wheel, we also have a locking system just to make sure when you place your slider away, you lock the plate and nothing is now moving. For better portability, the motor comes separately, so you can dismount it with a very quick release system, which is literally 2 screws that you can screw and unscrew with 2 fingers at the same time. It's very handy, and there you go, it just comes off. Again, for portability reasons, very easy to mount. Same system, couple of seconds and you're ready to go. In that way, you can quickly switch between the manual mode and the motorized mode. Still, you can move the slider with the motor on. Doesn't make any difference here. Not to mention also that by removing the motor, the slider is more compact, so better for portability in case you wouldn't need a motorized slider on the shoot that day. The body features triple support in terms of mounting options. We have a 3/8 inch screw thread at the center, which comes with a 1/4 inch adapter that you can mount on any tripod, but also we have the same on the extremities of the slider, one on the left, one on the right hand side. So possibly you can place your slider on 2 different tripods or stands. It comes with 2 brackets, 2 rods that you can place at those screw threads at the extremities of your slider that can be clamped to the legs of your tripod for more stability. Of course, these rods are extendable as well. With this system, actually, you potentially could use your slider upside down if you have a rod maybe on the ceiling or a pipe, whatever. You can hang your slider upside down for particular shots. You can run the motor through a USB-C cable, which is here on the side of the motor, but also the motor can be powered by battery. For example, you can use the Sony batteries F970. This is supposed to be a double distance slider, which means you get the length of your rails, and on paper it should be able to move double their size, which is literally not the case, but you have some extra range, which is probably another half of the size of the rail. So you don't really get double the size, but I would say 1.5. And I can show you right here. So that's as max as we can get out of the rail. As you can see, it's literally the size of the mount, and the same things happens on the other side. That's it. Quickly, I'm gonna go through the dimensions and the weight of the slider itself. So the Micro3 E700 measures 77 centimeters and it weighs 3 kilos, 150 grams. Now we have mentioned also the motor. This is the fast version of the two motors, which is quite fast actually, and I'm gonna show you in a second. For each motor, we have 3 different speeds set up already on your motor right here. Speed 1, speed 2, and speed 3. So these are presets already installed for you in this motor. To compare the normal version with the fast version, when you are in low speed, in the fast version, you get 56 millimeters per second in terms of distance. On the normal version, you get 13 millimeters per second, so quite a difference there. In the medium speed, you get 100 millimeters per second on the fast version and 26 millimeters on the normal version. For the high speed, with the fast version, we get 128 millimeters per second and 36 millimeters per second on the normal version. Specifications of the motor in terms of dimensions and weight: it measures 138.5 millimeters by 90.5 by 78. The weight is 750 grams. So in total, with the slider, you will get a kit that more or less weighs 4 kilos. Bear in mind, the motor is compatible with all the other versions of the Micro 3, so the 50 centimeters and the 100. I'm going to show you quickly the buttons on the motor. So we have the power button that if we hold, it will turn on and off. If we press quickly the power button once at a time, we will switch the speed of our slider. There you go, speed 3, 1 and 2. On the side we have the sliding button, so if I hold it, we go to the left or right and vice versa. And you can already hear the noise here. Alrighty, we also have a tracking system, so we can set up an A position and a B position and then give the command to the slider to move from A to B. And you want to place your camera in one position, right here for example, and we double press the power button. You will hear a beep. Then we move the slider to the second position. We double press the power button again to save that position. If we double press the power button, we will go to position 1 now. And if we double tap it again, we will move to position B. Now that's very useful, but I think you need to have the Zeapon app to really unlock all the potentials of the slider. And I'm going to show you why. I think I've got 2 reasons why we need the app. One is to control the speed better. As we have seen, we have 3 presets of speed on the motor itself, but on the app you have, first of all, a joystick, so you can control the speed with your finger, depending on how fast you move your finger. There you go. I can go faster or slow down. But also we have a speed settings lever, so I can go to 100% and that's as fast as we can get, but we can go much slower. This is 4% now. It's pretty cool. The second reason why I recommend the app, as we have seen, we have a tracking system from A to B basically, but here we can create loops. So if you are on your own, you want to film yourself maybe with some camera movements, that's what you can do through the app. Once again, we set up an A point, then you set up the speed, move your slider to position B, for example, and we set up this position, and now there's a loop icon. We press it and we press on play as well. and now the slider will keep going back and forth until we stop it. I thought it was worth mentioning because some one of you guys actually asked me lately about a slider that could do that. There you go, you have it, the Micro 3 by Zeapon. Very simple app, that's what you can do, but very helpful. I want to go through my comments quickly, and first of all I want to mention it's a very smooth slider. I filmed a couple of clips indoors with He-Man, and yeah, it was really nice. I used the Sony FX3 and the Sony G Master 24-70 in different focal length. Definitely a nice slider under that point of view, which is probably the most important point of a slider. I noticed the noise, so if you're filming interviews, you probably want to set the slider to a very slow kind of motion and speed, because you will hear otherwise the motor running, and actually you might want to have your tripod quite far away from the microphone. Bear in mind the body doesn't come with any plate or any head. I totally recommend to have a fluid head if you're doing videos, so you can also tilt, and if you want it you could pan your camera. But also you will find a very nice motor with the pan and tilt features on the Zeapon website, which unfortunately I couldn't test for you, but if you could combine all these three pieces of gear, it would be probably the best option. You can also place your slider on a fluid head on a tripod, so you could potentially use your slider in a vertical or oblique position and make your camera slide from top to bottom. And actually I've done a couple of tests, and I think it's something worth mentioning here, and I will get back to the brand as well. So if I set my speed to quite fast and I move the slider, going down it's okay, but going up, that's what I get without even the load, the weight of the camera. Now if I lower the speed, it works fine and there's not any noise. So something to keep in mind here, guys. And if I increase the speed, going down, fine. So that's all for this video. I hope it helped out. Let me know what you think. Once again, links in the description tab. I can't wait to see you in the next one. So thanks for watching and take care of yourself.